Hello, this is the luckiest maths teacher in the world. Today we're looking at the area of composite shapes. So composite means made up of smaller parts. So like when we learned about prime and composite numbers, a composite number was one that had more than two factors, so it wasn't prime. But that basically means that it is made up of smaller numbers. So for example, the number 24 is a composite number. It can be written as 8 times 3 or 4 times 6. So it's like it's made up of smaller numbers. So with shapes, composite shapes are made up of smaller shapes. So if we look at the shape in red, it's a composite shape. We don't really have a name for it, but we can see that it's like two rectangles have been stuck together. So to find the area of a composite shape, you divide it into its smaller shapes and you either add them together or subtract them, depending on the question. So for this shape, if with the red lines here, we can find its area by dividing it into two rectangles like this. So I'm going to call this rectangle 1 and rectangle 2. So I just find the area of each of the rectangles and add them together. So the area of rectangle 1 is just length times width, so it'll be 5 times 6, which will be 30 meters squared, because the units were in meters. Sorry, I should have written that was in meters too. So then the area of the second rectangle will just be 2.5, because that is the length. Now the width here, the line I've just drawn, would also be 5 meters, because this length here and this length here have to equal 10 meters down the bottom. So the area of the second shape will be 5 times 2.5, which is 12.5 meters squared. So the total area will just be the sum of those. So it'll be 30 plus 12.5, which equals 42.5 meters squared, and we are done. Now I want to show you an example of a composite shape where we actually have to subtract. So let's say we want to find the area of this composite shape. So this shape here, I'll put on the parallel lines just to show you this. So this is a parallelogram, and we want to find the area of the shape that is shaded in pink. So this one, we need to find the area of the big parallelogram and then take away the area of the triangle inside, because the shaded part is the parallelogram minus whatever the area of the triangle is. So this one involves taking away, whereas the other one involved adding. So the area of the parallelogram is base times perpendicular height. So base 30, perpendicular height 20. This over here is the slant height, so it doesn't figure into our calculations. So that's the area of the parallelogram. And then what we want to do is take away the area of the triangle. So the triangle has a base of 4 and a perpendicular height of 3. So its area would be base times perpendicular height divided by 2. So if you put that on your calculator, and you can use your calculator for this, you should get that it equals 594, and because all of our measurements were in centimeters and its area, it will be centimeters squared. So just make sure you're aware that sometimes when you're finding the area of composite shapes, you need to add, sometimes you need to subtract. Hope you've enjoyed this video. This has been the luckiest maths teacher in the world. Have a great day.